right, we're back at 8:14. Ethan and Lou here. We got the mayor of Danbury, Mark Boughton, joining us. This is bizarre.
This is weird. We're going to do this kind of. We have Ethan's cell phone on speaker because, like you, we have no phones.
Right.
You know. Hey, Mark, what's going on?
Hey guys.
All right. All right. Yes, busy night. I can imagine. The first question that most people are going to have is, let's at least start in Danbury. What is you think a good estimate for power returning for those without it?
Eversource is reluctant right now to give restoration times. I will tell you that they are bringing crews in from New York State and Massachusetts, which is good news. For some people, it could be very much into next week. Other people might be within 24 to 48 hours. But the areas where there's heavy tree damage, particularly up where you live, Lou, in that area, the Stanley Rough area, and those areas, it's going to be a while. Every time you see a tree with a wire that's within 15 feet of it, we have to call Eversource. They have to come and shut the grid down, and then we can clear it. But it's a really time-consuming process. So my advice to people is to, hunker down, stay patient. And we do have a shelter open. If you're on medical devices that require electricity, we have a shelter open at WestCon with doctors and nurses available there, and you're just going to have to, we're all going to have to wait it out. And losing power is probably one of the most frustrating things for people. I've been through this before, and I get it, but not a lot we can do. It just takes time.
Now, when it comes to the other towns, I know it's not your responsibility to speak for the other towns, but I'm going to assume you've maybe been in touch with some of the other local leaders. Is the message pretty much probably going to be the same from them?
Yeah, so if you're in Brookfield was hit particularly hard, I think, and I'm not a meteorologist, so somebody may say, it's not true, but looking at the data that we saw, particularly just up above your house, Lou, right in the Candlewood Lake area, it looks like there was a touchdown of a tornado up through that area, and that really did a number in Brookfield, and then traveled over through Newtown into Southbury, almost just to the left of Main Street, all the way up Southbury, lifted up, and then dropped down again a little bit farther up. And so severe damage in those communities. It's going to take a long time to get things up and running. I know Brookfield in particular, there isn't a road out there that there's not a tree down or, is impassable in many different ways. So, and our guys and gals are in public safety, are working their tails off. Our public works crews have been working around the clock. And I've got to arrest them now. I've got to arrest my DPW folks because they've been out for 18 hours. And I want them to take breaks, and we'll be back at it shortly. But you've got to understand that these are human beings too, and they, we don't want any more accidents or any more problems if somebody, should fall or something like that because they're too tired.
What about an update, if you could? And I know the names have not been released of people that were critically injured or seriously injured. Is there any update on conditions? I mean, it's a terrible thing.
Yeah, both Danbury and New Fairfield saw a fatality. A mother was driving with her 3-year-old child the Ball Pond area, and a tree fell down on her car and tragically killed her. And we had a gentleman working on his lawn that sheltered in his pickup truck. Tree fell down on his pickup truck and killed him. We also had a serious injury over at Abatech High School where a roof of the dugout lifted up. The wind got underneath it, lifted the roof up, hit the young man, and he's in serious condition. I don't have a recent update on his health, but he was really banged up last night, and we were all praying that he'd pull through. So it's been a rough 24 hours. I mean, we knew this bad weather was coming. We saw the reports, but when it morphs into that kind of storm with plus 75 mile an hour winds we clocked over at Danbury Airport, it was something.
Is there anything you want to caution people against that maybe they may not consider that they should or should not do?
Yeah, I don't want. Please don't mess with any of the electrical wires. Don't touch them, even if they look like they're dead. Don't make that assumption. Also, we always have a few people that maybe know a little bit about how the grid works, and they'll climb the pole and they'll try to flip the switch on the transformer because sometimes that'll trip if it's hit by lightning. And then the problem with that is that if you've got a generator running down the line, you get a backfeed there, and that causes a fire, and we have houses going up left and right. So just let the professionals do their work, and there is a method to their madness and how they do it. But I know we've just got to let the pros do what they need to do.
All right, so you got a busy couple days ahead of you. We're going to check in with you again on Thursday. Obviously, we'll probably be updating this situation, but you should know that we've had our listeners been sending us questions and concerns for you should you become the governor of the great state of Connecticut. So be ready for that.
Okay, no problem. Let's take care of what's in front of us first.
Oh, that was very political. I appreciate that. Way to go. Way to go, you wily son of a bitch.
Jesus.
I'll talk to you boys later.
All right. Bye, Mark.
See you later. That's called the mayor, a son of a bitch. That's great. That'll get him to call back. You idiot.
Well, I mean, come on, guys. Let's just take care of the problem in front of us.
Well, come on. Everybody knows that.
Setting them up, knocking them down.
20 minutes after 8, Ethan and Lou here.
Summer is coming.